Hi there, friends, family, and loved ones all. This is a date that will live in infamy. 21 years later after that date, 9/11, emergency, season of sacrifice, all of these things that they've been planning, the false flags, the mother of all false flags, the beginning of 9/11, the beginning of World War III. As I get into in my book, everything is a lie, nothing is true. But it's so obvious when you see things like this. We'll get back to that in a sec. But I just wanted to go through my little montage here, since they don't seem to be banning 9/11 yet. And then below is the full link getting into the book and the details of the false flags and how they've been set up and why they're all false flags. I do a narrative on that, and that's in the link below. But just the sheer absurdity, and there's no plane there, that a aluminum cowling engine, of a plane that's just made of just aluminum could cause such wreckage into steel-supported beam structures. Pentagon had an hour's notice. We're under attack. Rumsfeld was having brunch over here on the other side, along with the director of the SEC, Security and Stock Exchange, at that time. And this area here is completely reinforced right before it was hit with a rocket. Again, fire. Come on, folks. Fire. And I get into this in the link below. But Marvin Bush, ever heard of Marvin? No, I never heard of Marvin. Why haven't you heard of Marvin Bush? Because he's the one that does the dirty work underneath, back door. He was the head of Securicom, the ones that ran the security for World Trade Center 7 after Larry Silverstein just happened to buy it. And again, just use your common sense. This is structure that's superstructure. It's inside. I used to have dinner up at the world, Top of the World, it was called, restaurant. And these are superstructures inside the structure of steel that held all the elevators. And this is what punctured it. It went through and took all the buildings down. And it's absurdity. And then here's 9/11 on the Rockefeller watch. He's the one that had the land and the fake fallings just to get everybody freaky. And then making it seem like it was a demolition. Here's the cuts. So they made sure the thing came straight down on its own footprint. 105 stories, came down in 10.3 seconds. You drop a softball off the top of the roof of that at 103-4 stories. It takes 10 point something seconds to hit the ground. So basically went down in free fall speed. It was an attack, folks. It was an attack. It was an attack. And what happened to World Trade Center 7? What happened to World Trade Center 7? So here we go, this big explosion. It's an explosion of directed energy weapons being beamed down to convert to particulate matter. And we just see it over and over. I mean, that is not a fire. Anybody who tells you that is a fire is an idiot. Look at how big look at how massive this structure is, and look at how concentrated. No one other buildings got hit. Nothing.
Now we're going to get into the...
And Dr. Judy Woods, who won't admit directed energy weapons were used in California, but she said directed energy weapons were used in 9/11. Well, come on, Judy. You're a scientist. Use your knowledge. These are cars 9/11. These are cars California. Anything similar to Judy? Come on. And again, the plane went into the building this way and somehow folded up like a paper. And then we have the evil devil on the side. All of these things are part of their schemology. And the twisted wreckage, blocks away from the actual event. And then again, the superstructures, first time ever a structures have been found. But hey, they didn't find the flight recorders. They're indestructible, but they couldn't find them. But they did find the Muslim passport that got unscathed, and it got found. And then, but they didn't find the big engines, but they found the passport to prove. I get into that as well. And again, the total directed energy, the trees untouched, 1,400 cars were toasted, not burned, but the papers were not. Okay, so this was again directed. Look at the USPS truck over here. And these are blocks away. And then they're saying this is what the plane did with that little soft aluminum nose cone. Come on, please. Let's use our brains. Let's kind of take it up a notch as far as the convo goes now, 21 years later. Can't we have an intelligent conversation about what really went on? And then the anthrax down at Fort Detrick I get into as well. And then the cover up, don't cover up the anthrax because now they found it was made in the Dugaway Proving Grounds near Salt Lake City, the anthrax, and was sent to Fort Detrick, and then it just happened to get an envelope from a lone rebel inside the Fort Detrick, who now has been told that he released it. And again, it's just a photograph. It's just an image. They can put out anything they want on the net, and everybody thinks it's true, but it's right on the money. If you fold the dollars, here's the towers being built. Here's the North Tower. Here's the South Tower going down. Here's the towers collapsing. Here's the no more towers. And here's the water fountain. They mark their spots. And you should look up the new $100 bill. Anyway, so
for 20 years, I worked at the New York Stock Exchange. Went to
sorry.
The World Trade Center.
And this is the proof of the insider trading. Alex Brown, I get into the whole, and then the pre-programming that we see everywhere, and then the buildings that were not touched, even though others were. Oh, this building came down, 47-story building, hold Giuliani's command center, hold all the papers for Enron, investigations on Bush, all these other things. And then Larry Silverstein said, pull it, and I pulled it, and it came down on its own footprint, and the BBC announced it 30 minutes before it came down. And it was never hit by a plane. Oh, but it caught fire. See, it had all that fire in the steel, and the fire brought it down, is what that story is. A little flat earth here. Anyway, so it just common sense, just about the new American century. They said we needed an event for it to start. This was the beginning of World War III, and we see the fruition of it now. And this is what they're bringing to us: the mind control of everything. So check in I went into pretty good detail on it. So please share with everybody 9/11 that's not aware in the show notes in my book on false flags. Thank you.